Awesome. So we are in the back room here, just ahead of River West Radio. We'll be going live here momentarily, so hang tight, and we are about to get started. We have about 30 seconds here. Ten more seconds. Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we are super excited tonight for what we can bring to you. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own or with people we know, with people we encounter on a daily basis. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. As I said before, we are super excited for the great group we have to share with, to bring to you and to share with everyone tonight. For starters, I'm going to pass this on over to Emily Gomer to do some introductions. So Emily, over to you.
Hey, all right, first person this evening. We met through Helpopedia.
Yes.
And he's out in New York, as he was saying before the show here. And he has a daughter who has a disability and is doing a lot for the disability community. So Richard, why don't you in here and briefly kind of say what you do and
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Emily and Sue, and so happy to be here tonight. Love this topic. Autism is indeed a diversity. It is part of what we all kind of come together on, that diversity is really an area where people flourish and have skills that are different than perhaps you and I, what we commonly call neurotypical. So, as Emily said, my daughter was diagnosed at age 7 with autism. And that was a particularly arduous journey ultimately for my wife and I to find the right services and the right supports for our daughter. And like most families, we kind of got dragged into the traditional pharmaceutical and cookie cutter behavioral analysis services, which didn't really serve our daughter. So we pivoted. My wife ultimately became an expert at essential oils. And we actually took our daughter off Adderall and put her on a wonderful combination of essential oils, which I know the word transformative is overused these days, but it truly was. And it's allowed our daughter to really manage a lot of her symptoms. And it was like a coming out party for her. She now is a larger than life, incredible young woman, talented, intelligent. I envy all those things about her. No, I'm just kidding. But we are just so proud of the woman that she's become. And because of our journey, my wife and I decided, well, we don't want other parents to, if we can, necessarily make the same mistakes we did. So we created here in New York City about 5 years ago, the New York City Autism Community Group, which was designed to help other parents commune and talk and get out of their heads and more into their hearts and talk about with other parents about possible things that worked and didn't work. And we became very active in social media during COVID, which kind of shut everything down, including us. And then after that last year, again, based on the inspiration that my daughter gives me every day, I decided, we have to figure out a way to share this with more people. And we conducted an expo in New York City last October, where we had several hundred families come and see some rather unique but alternative. Is that the dog telling me that it's time for me to get off? I'll shut up if that's the case. So real quickly, we now have the Autism Innovation Community Foundation, which is going to serve families and members with autism, individuals and family members, by providing them access to more holistic, alternative, and yes, tech and innovative solutions. I'm a IT person by trade, so that kind of is where I used and steered my knowledge base. But gosh, this has become my passion. And it really is an education process too, for parents to really understand that it's okay to try less conventional things, especially those that are evidence-based in work. So now our foundation is about reaching families, as many as we can. We started in New York. We're really looking to branch out throughout the country and the world, ultimately, to bring these resources to families in need. So that's probably a lot more about me than you wanted to hear, but it's a necessary mission, and I'm just so blessed. And again, thank you for having me.
Okay, so our next person hails out of Michigan, so not too far, just over the pond. And we met her through the Spirit of the Game Foundation, where Kurt also made a presentation talk recently as well. So Jamila and I were put in a breakout room topic that we were talking about, the topic of AI, and we were put in a breakout room together. So it was like, come on a show. So Jamila, why don't you briefly tell us who you are, what you do?
I sure will. Absolutely. So I'm Jamila Epps, and as she said, I hail from Michigan. I am currently in the automotive sector. I've been in the automotive field for about 18 years in IT, and I am also in the EV space at my current company. I am an EV advocate, and I do believe that EV can be a very good resource in the area of disability, because autonomous will be something coming down the pipe here in the future, but that will give everybody an opportunity to have more mobility. So that is a portion of the EV sector that really could be beneficial to just humanity. When you think about people who, my own mother has some legal blindness just due to the fact that she's elderly and she had some issues with diabetes a few years ago that cost her vision. But when we think about people in that manner, as autonomous and things in the vehicle space become more accessible, we'll be able to use this vehicle technology to make people be able to be more mobile. Someone like an elderly person who's lost their eyesight will be able to hail a cab or hail a car using technology. We can do voice activated now. You don't have to have a phone to tap on something, get that car to their house and take them to the doctor. So I'm a very passionate person about EV and technology being used for tech for good, things that will help humanity overall. So that is how Emily and I hooked up. We found each other through a breakout session through a company called Spirit of the Games, which is a personal accountability organization. And she and I were talking about AI. And I'm an advocate of AI, and I do understand there's some concerns around the tool. But when you are using any technology in the proper manner, it is supposed to be to help lives be better. And I think AI can be used through a variety of ways from all different walks of life, definitely from a diversity perspective, to help things be better for humanity. We just have to make sure that as we're moving forward, we're coding AI so that it is being conducted the right way. We need to code it so that people of diverse perspectives can get the best out of it and they aren't left behind, so that imaging technology can see people the way it should see people, and so that it is used in the right manner from color perspective, hair texture, everything that matters in that particular arena. And from another perspective is I'm also a green proponent, because EV is definitely in the sustainability space. And I'm a member of Green TV, which is an organization that's looking to help do some more activism on climate change. And as we all have seen from the fires and the air quality that's happening in Canada, we all need to be very concerned about what's happening on planet Earth. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'll yield the floor back to Emily.
Okay, so I just had one of our other dynamic HMP people join us. We have quite the crew here today. But before we get to our Mr. Sales Flow, we're going to get to go to Nate. Sorry. Nate, who's returning. He came on for the first time last week. And he helps build websites and for free for nonprofits, actually. So for a nonprofit. So Nate, why don't you say a little bit about who you are, what you do, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Emily. Glad to be here. I'm Nate Sochet, as Emily mentioned, and I build websites, but even more importantly, I make them accessible to the disabled so that they're ADA compliant and compliant with all the international disability laws, of which there are many. And it is the law, to have your website compliant with the ADA. And there's a worldwide guide on that, of what you have to do, and we follow that guide. So I started 20 years ago building websites, and then I worked with a nonprofit organization, and I realized, I worked on their website and their social media, and then I realized that I could be doing this in my own business and work from home. So I did that. And then a year ago, I realized websites should be accessible. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, but I did realize it a year ago, and I made mine accessible, and I started making other websites accessible. And so it really is just a small button on the side, and you use that button to make adjustments to the website that you're looking at. So you don't change it for anybody else, just yourself, because somebody else may need a different adjustment to it. Somebody may have epilepsy and need it to be all the motion stopped. We can do that. It's very detailed what all can be done. There's so many things that can be done. Epilepsy, ADHD, blindness, low vision, motor challenges, cognitive challenges, all are addressed with the software.
All right, Emily, who's this Tony guy?
Okay, Tony, aka Mr. Salesful.
No,
Lovingly called Salesful.
Salesflow is obsolete. We are sales AI now. I guess maybe I should introduce myself. Is that what I'm hearing, or did I interrupt something?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Peace and blessings from Omaha, Nebraska. My name's Tony Hunt. I'm a founding affiliate with NowSite 2.0. And we started off as royalty and went AI 4 years ago. So I'm well versed. And I like to say this from the comments that I've heard. It's so exciting. It's giving me goosebumps for the comments I've heard so far. And the lady's smiles just lighting up the room there, Jamila. We were lucky enough, blessed enough. We're 6 years old and have been in the making as an all-in-one platform. And the founder told me about 4 years ago, said, Tony, we're going AI. We changed our name from Royalty to Royalty AI. And that was exciting enough. But what actually knocked me out of my chair was he said, we're going to have AI powered leads. And my mind went boom. I said, well, do you know how hard I work to get one lead, build one relationship? And not just computerized leads, AI powered leads. And when he said that, we've been brewing and brewing and brewing and preparing our all-in-one platform. You name it, we've got it. Email, compliant websites. I'm an attorney, not practicing, so I look at all the nuts and bolts of things and liability. And we've got analytics, everything. But November 30th, 2022, OpenAI went public. December 1st, guess who was the first company to be fully integrated? Marketing company, that is. Us. It's like a match made in heaven. It was a perfect fit. And we've been rolling out every single feature of our platform is now AI powered by ChatGPT-4. So that said, we know we have a unique platform. We know it blows people away when they see the cost. They're like, Tony, how are you guys doing all this at that price? I'm gonna tell you, then I'll stop. I get myself excited. $99 a month, but until tomorrow, you can get started for just $19. And then it's $99 a month, no contract. And try it for 19 bucks. You know, if it's too much for you, quit. I hope you don't. But this is what separates us. We are blessed enough to have the type of our newest products called Brain Trust. I can't believe I snuck that out. But our system is based on and revolves around a business profile. And I know most people haven't heard that term in a while, especially when it comes to technology. What do you mean business profile? Well, you tell us it's a two-step onboarding program. You tell us who you are and what you do. And our AI crafts a business profile that is grammatically perfect, error-free. And then you get unlimited leads that are pertinent and germane to your profile based on personality. If that doesn't blow you away, I don't know what will. So you will get people that are maybe the Kurtz of the world who are high intellectual, has to cross every T and dot every I. You can get them. Or you can get the happy-go-lucky guy that's getting drunk during the game and wants to talk business. Oh, yeah, we can help him too. There's all kind of different personalities. But that's what we do. That's it in a nutshell. Hopefully I left enough room for curiosity. And thanks for letting me have such a long introduction. Peace and blessings.
You're awesome, Tony. Thanks so much for being here. What an amazing group we have. So I know there's a lot of different pieces that have come forward here. So I'm just curious if who has a question for one another at this point. Richard, I'll give you the floor here first. What thoughts do you have at this point with all these different pieces that have come your way here?
Well, first of all, I know NowSite, Tony. I'm actually an affiliate as well, and totally agree. As a technologist, I can tell you it's got some amazing attributes in technology. So glad to hear that. But and Nate, love what you're doing. My websites are ADA compliant, and we'll probably be reaching out to you because I have a couple of new ones that I'm spinning up. I loved hearing about what Jamila was saying about EV, electronic vehicles. I have a daughter who's scared to death to drive, and part of that is because of who she is. So the idea that she could be in a driverless car and everyone else could be safe about not having to worry about that is welcome news to my ear. I did a little bit of background on this back in the day. I used to work in the transportation industry. I remember 10 years ago when they were talking about all these strategic partnerships between car companies, software companies, Uber and Lyft and the like. And they said within 5 years, driverless cars would be in abundance. But I guess that's not the case. So, Jamila, any idea what the time frame is before?
Well, just to let me put it like this, I won't say that there aren't. There is a company, and I don't want to give too much away from a personal standpoint, but there is a company that does this now. They are piloting, and there was a few other companies, Waymo and a few others as well. But there's one that I'm very familiar with that's piloting in San Francisco. You can hail it. You can hail the actual automobile. It does have an app. It will pick you up in San Francisco. It's in San Francisco. It's also in Texas. I believe they're expanding to another market. It's Cruise. If you haven't heard of it, you can Google Cruise. They are in a partnership with a major automotive. And as part of that, they will pick you up, it will drive you around completely autonomous. And they've been doing this particular, and the autonomous industry has been doing this particular type of technology for some time. And I know, as you stated, it was slated to hopefully be on the road, but safety is key. We don't want to just have our cars driving around in any industry running into things and things of that nature. So I applaud the industry overall for taking the time to ensure that they did things safely. They used a lot of automotive modeling from a software perspective to test things out prior to putting these cars on the road at all of the different automotive AI companies. And there will come a time where your daughter may not need you to drive her somewhere. She'll be able to use a piece of software. And I'm hoping for people that are truly impacted, because there's people who aren't able to, touch the keyboards on telephones, that it'll be a voice activated thing where they can execute the app, maybe through Siri or through a different voice activation on their telephone, have the app execute, say, come pick me up. And the app knows where you are because it's going to GPS you, and then it can take you somewhere. And so that's truly what the future of automotive looks like. And remember, this is going to be an electronic car. So we also have the ability of this car not having any emissions. When it's done, it'll go plug itself in. That's my goal. Like, what I would really love to see, it goes back home or it goes to another location and it plugs itself in, or it gets onto a platform that's self-charging. But the future of the industry really is in a space where it's supposed to be benefiting humankind of all perspectives. So someone like your daughter would at some point probably be thrilled, like, I don't have to drive with my parents anymore. Like, just that freedom that we all experienced when we were teens, that first time when we didn't have our parents in the car. I envision a day where she'll be able to have that experience and not be scared. Will it be an exciting experience for her to say, I was able to hail a car, get in a car, go somewhere, and come back home safely and not be afraid, because the car did the work that it was set out to do. So I do believe that's the future in the industry, and I think we're going to get there. And I think it's going to be a lot faster than people think. We do have some American cultural hurdles that we need to get over. People are, afraid of embracing something that's not familiar. So there are going to be some obstacles in that perspective. But when we think about the benefit that it can have in humanity, when it's done correctly, I think there is definitely a need for this technology to be in our culture, in our environment.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamila. And I've even seen there's some flying cars on the avenue. I spent a lot of time with startups and entrepreneurs in the tech space. And I've seen some of those that are super impressive. So I like the Jetsons are going to happen.
That's the goal. We want to see everything that the Jetsons had. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? That doesn't make sense. Why would we grow up with all of that and it's just like a fantasy? Like, we all watch Star Trek.
Right. I'm waiting on the AI made.
I am too, and I'm hoping that one comes quickly.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear you say Jetsons, because actually that's exactly what was going through my mind too. Was this sounds like the cartoon from back in the day? Because it's just blowing my mind that it's possible that things are heading there. And I know with all the different things that I see with what Nate does with being able to personalize the the different abilities of a website to actually be able to do whatever a person is needing for that site to do, so they can participate with what's going on, with what I'm hearing, with what's coming with the future in vehicles, what all the different things that AI, artificial intelligence, even that, it's like, how is this possible? It's been thought of and dreamed about for so long, and it's here. It's right around the corner with where it's all going, and it's an exciting time for all of us. And like with Richard, with what you're saying too, with what your daughter would be able to take advantage for, so many people that I know that for whatever reason driving is not going to happen for them, they're not comfortable with it, they're not able for whatever reason, that they would have that freedom coming down the pipe here. It's actually, I find it just stunning and exciting.
Yeah.
So, and Nate, I was going to bring it back to you if you had some thoughts to share here with all of this as well.
Thank you. I just think technology is amazing, what it's accomplishing, and they can help the people who have disabilities, live a more rich life. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to get on the internet and not be able to use a website because it's not accessible, and many of them are not accessible. So that blows me away. And the fact that we can adapt it so many different ways for each individual is exciting to me.
Yeah, the technology is there and I'm able to do this. So much fun. So we're getting down to the last couple of minutes here. If I could give everybody just 30 seconds to share whatever message they would like about what you've heard, what's in your heart at this point, and where we are with AbilityMKE Now. I'm going to come back to Richard to start with you.
Well, thank you so much, Sue. And it's really an honor to meet people like Nate and Jamila and Tony and hear about what you're up to. I think from my perspective, just real quick, a message to parents, you're the real heroes raising children and young adults and adults with autism. It's very challenging. Take care of yourself first, put your mask on first, and give yourself permission to try some different things. It's the mainstream services. We know how that goes. The medical industry, pharmaceuticals, they do serve a purpose, but there's an awful lot of innovation and technical virtuosity, and you've heard some of it tonight, that can really help people with disabilities, and in particular, in my world, autism. So keep at it, keep asking questions, and be inquisitive. Thank you.
Excellent. And Jamila, 20 to 30 seconds, your turn.
Yep. My hope is just as the future unfolds here in the autonomous and electric vehicle space, it can be used to help people of disabilities of all kind. And I want parents, as Richard spoke to take a chance, like go out to chat, use it for some problems and see what kind of responses you get back. It may give you some ideas that you haven't considered and trying to help you with some of the problems that you experience every day as a caregiver, caregivers of every kind. I've been a caregiver in that space, and I know what the challenges are. So caregivers of every kind do need a quick way to research, especially on days that aren't so good. So keep in mind that technology can help you do things quickly, so that you can give yourself a break when you really need that break. And from there, I just hope technology continues to advance so that it is tech for good, for the good of humankind. That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Tony, I want to send it your way. If you got about maybe 10 to 15 seconds, a real quick message for us.
Hopefully I created curiosity, and per the conversation, we also have AI mobile, voice activated. Tell the AI what to do through mobile.
I love it. And Nate, last word is yours, and then we'll finish up here.
Yes, I just want to say that I donate this service of making websites accessible to nonprofit organizations. So they just need to contact me.
Excellent. Oh, I can't thank you all enough. Richard, Jamila, Tony, Nate, you guys are amazing. What you do is amazing. What you bring here with today here is amazing. I would love it if you're able to come back again so we can do a deeper dive into what you all are doing. And so Emily, I want to send a big thank you to you and Kurt. And again, my name is Sue Roskoff, and we're here with AbilityMKE Now on River West Radio, and we thank you.